This is Shelley Craft coming to you live on SNNLive. We're coming to you on location in New York City. I have with me Scott Mahoney from MagneGas Corp. It's a publicly traded company on NASDAQ, and the symbol is MNGA. Scott, welcome to SNNLive.
Thanks, Shelley. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's good to have you. Let's get started with a brief overview of the company, and we'll go from there.
Sure. Well, MagneGas is a technology company that primarily has a patented technology centered around submerged plasma arc. What that basically means is you take lightning, you containerize it, and then you submerge it in a fluid, and you can do two very impressive things with it. You can make renewable fuel sources, or you can sterilize waste.
What's the history behind the company?
Well, it's actually pretty fascinating. The founder was a PhD physicist both at Harvard and MIT, so about as smart as it can get. But his family's history, he grew up in rural southern Italy after World War II. Obviously, enormous disruption to the economy, to the infrastructure. And he saw that, and he was passionate about the idea of basically taking these wastes and these pollutants in the environment and harnessing the energy trapped inside that waste. So truly taking waste, converting it to energy while cleaning the environment.
So where was the science developed?
Primarily in his days in Boston and Cambridge. Spent about 30 years in his garage. You can imagine how crazy that is when you've got basically a lightning in a jar next to your car parked in the garage. It's pretty fantastic.
So give me an example, for instance, of some of the waste to water, waste to energy, waste to fuel.
Sure. So the company started using things like waste diesels, waste motor oils, vegetable oils, fat fryers. So you could literally take the energy trapped in a McDonald's fat fryer and make a gas out of it. Over the years, we've gradually evolved it and perfected the process. Our primary commercial application for making gas today is not for heating purposes. It's actually for cutting metal. Our gas, when we use certain feedstocks, is actually the hottest known gas burning on Earth today. So today we make most of our gas out of butanol, which comes from corn.
So Scott, how are you commercializing this technology?
Well, that's a great question. So as with any great science, you stumble onto things that you didn't anticipate early. So the first thing that we were able to commercialize was this metal cutting fuel. It burns at almost 11,000 degrees Fahrenheit. It is essentially the hottest known gas on Earth, which gives us the ability to quickly compete against propane and acetylene, which are the dominant cutting fuels on Earth today. However, neither of those is very eco-friendly. Ours is. But that's not really our passion. Where we're going is, let's talk a little bit about this USDA grant that we were awarded last year that we kicked off last December. That's really the future of the company. It's all about water and agriculture. The process that we have, this submerged plasma arc technology, lets us instantaneously sterilize almost any living contaminant. So you think of things like E. coli, fecal coliform, all these pathogens, viral infections, anything that could be trapped in a waterborne slurry can go through the machine at a very high rate, and the electrical current, the heat from the electrical current, ultraviolet light, ozone, and hydrogen peroxide all are nature's most potent sterilizers. The beauty of our machine is that we can hit that contaminant so quickly, so briefly, that the nutritional value of the underlying material has not been impacted one bit. So when you think of that contaminant in sewage or animal waste, that is nature's best fertilizer, and we're using nature's best sterilizing agents to turn what is otherwise a harmful waste into an enormously valuable, clean source of agricultural materials for fertilization. And then the other beautiful thing our machine is able to do is instantaneously sterilize that water, run through something as simple as a pool pump filter, and it's potable.
So let me ask you a question. How does this compare with current technology?
It's a game changer. Almost anything you do to try to clean animal wastes, you think about chemicals that have to be added, or in many instances, something that's really quite sad is in many instances it's perfectly legal to take animal waste, spread it out in a field, let it dry, the microbes and pathogens eventually die because they've been dehydrated, but you're leaving all those contaminants to get into the groundwater to potentially just be harmful to the environment. So for us, we're able to do something that's very fast, very economical, and absolutely effective, and give back to the agricultural community its two most vital needs: nutritional value for both plant life, and then the water for both the plants and for animals that are supported in the agricultural system.
So when you say it's affordable and cost-effective, so to speak, how come?
Because our machine is extremely efficient, it's extremely lean, and it's scalable. We can put it in a flatbed towed by a Ford F-150, or we can scale it up to fit 10 of them in a football field.
So where do you see this technology having its greatest impact?
Well, obviously having the validation of the USDA grant is an enormous first step. But where I see us going next is starting to talk to some of the US-based municipalities. Obviously, California is one of the greenest states we have in the US. We have had initial dialogue with some of the municipalities out there. They initiated a huge endeavor that started actually January 1st of this year, where all of their dairies have to reduce methane emissions substantially over the next few years. So that's an enormous opportunity for us to break into commercial applications for sterilization in the US. We've also had extensive conversations in Latin America. We are actually moving forward with a commercialized application in Italy, and we are very keen on trying to address the scarcity of water issues globally. Obviously, with what's going on in South Africa right now, it would be a perfect opportunity for us to take our portable technology, put it out not only at scale in the metropolitan regions, but we can basically deliver it anywhere. It could be a remote mountain village. It could be a major metropolitan area. We can get it there, and we can make it work.
What's your background?
I spent about 15 years as a banker with a lot of very good quality names that everyone's very familiar with. And then I spent about the last 10 years helping companies like MagneGas really unlock their potential. And I'm excited to be a part of the team.
Let's get your website out for more information, if you would.
It couldn't be easier. It's www.magnegas.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Scott Mahoney, MagneGas Corporation. It's a publicly traded company on NASDAQ, and the symbol is MNGA. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive, and we're coming to you on location in New York City. And I want to thank you very much for coming on to SNNLive.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Pleasure's all mine.